areas under the tornado warning, and for that matter, for the severe thunderstorm warning as well. So right now we're going to take a quick pause. We'll have our show open, and then we'll come right back with our coverage.
This is Local 3 News at 11.
And welcome back. We were talking about severe weather moving through the Tennessee Valley. We've had a number of severe thunderstorm warnings, tornado warnings that have moved through our area, and we have tornado warnings in effect right now. So we've been covering them all night on Local 3. We've also been covering them all night on social media, on Facebook, on Local 3 News, Local 3 Weather, and David Carnes 3. So we're simulcasting also on US 101, our radio partner, and we have got you covered. So let's jump into it and give you the breakdown, the very latest. First of all, we're looking at a couple of tornado warnings that we've been tracking. Here is tornado warning number 1, and that is in effect until 11:30. This one also is in effect until 11:30 for Chattooga County. Severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Gilmer and Murray County until 11:30. And then we move northward, and we have a couple of special weather statements in effect for heavy rain, lightning, and wind gusts up to 40 miles per hour. A lot of lightning, just a crazy amount of lightning. Ducktown, you are getting hammered with lightning and rain, and you may be getting a little bit of hail in there also. I'm not seeing any being reflected, but hang in there, Ducktown. Fortunately, no tornadoes are going to be popping up, I don't think, in that batch of storms, but we'll keep an eye on it. Notice also, for those of you just tuning in at 11, a lot of the tornado watches that were in effect until midnight, 2, 1 a.m., all of those tornado warnings, not all, a lot of those tornado warnings have been allowed to expire. Notice, Ray, Meigs, Hamilton County, no tornado warnings. Cumberland Plateau, no tornado warnings. We are not going to see, the tornado warnings are still there, but if you're in Jackson County, Alabama, Dade County, you're not going to see any tornado warnings issued. You're done. McMinn County, you're done with the potential for severe weather. Bradley County, you're done with the potential for severe weather. So shortly, you'll probably see your tornado watches expiring as well. Where we are not going to see them expire anytime soon is for our friends in Chattooga County, Walker County, southern Walker County, Whitfield County, and also over to Chatsworth, where we're in moving into Gilmer County and Murray County also. So that is where we have all the tornado warnings and the severe thunderstorm warnings that we've been covering. You see 2 circles drawn. We've been trying to look for the best place. If a tornado is going to form, where is it most likely going to form? Let's turn off the lightning just for a minute. Don't you wish you could do that in real life? And check out our velocity products. And I'm just not seeing a lot that is really indicative of a tornado-producing storm. I'm not seeing it. We do have the tornado warnings in effect. Now, we have seen glimpses where we've seen the rotation starting to organize, some rotation in the clouds starting to organize, but it hasn't panned out into anything that's a confirmed tornado with these particular storms. Early on in the night, especially in parts of northern Alabama, near Huntsville, we did have confirmed tornadoes, pictures, damage reports, all of that, but we haven't, with these particular severe tornado warnings, we have not had any confirmed tornadic activity. We have had periods of it spinning up, the clouds in the mid-levels pretty much just starting to wind around, but we haven't had anything that has produced a confirmed tornado as of yet, and Lord willing, we will continue that. I'll go back in time a little bit, and you can see the 2 areas we were watching. And you can see a little bit of red and green here, a little bit of red and green here. So that's generally what we're looking at, but even that is not really tight in terms of gate-to-gate shear. But then even as we move through time and get to the current time, it really doesn't even look that impressive. So those 2 areas that we were looking at are now here, and that's just not impressive looking at all. And with that, not much in the way of wind shear, which is another parameter that we need for tornadoes to really get cooking. So what I do know is that we are likely getting some super duper strong winds and some super duper strong lightning. So let's take a look at that. There's the rainfall, there's the lightning. And one thing we can click on with our base velocity is another velocity product that gives us a better view a lot of times of where we have that red and green together. When I talk about red and green together, you have the rain that is getting picked up and moving. Let me draw this out for you. The raindrops getting picked up by the radar and it's moving toward the radar, and then rain is getting picked up by the radar and that rain is moving away from the radar, depicted as red. So if you have rain moving toward the radar, rain moving away, the inference is that in between you have some rotation going on. And so we could have a little bit of that here, we could have a little bit of that here. So those are the two areas that we'll keep watching. So if you're in Tryon, let me know on Facebook, and we're monitoring Facebook for your comments. Let me know what's going on if you're in Tryon, Georgia. If you're in Summerville, let me know what's happening there. Let me know if you are in Beedham. Beedham, how about that? East Armuchee, let me know what's happening there. All of this is moving east-northeast toward, let me put in some other communities, Hill City, Carbondale, definitely be in your safe place. If you are in Tryon, hopefully you are already in your safe place. We'll zoom in to try and get some other communities there. If you are in East Tryon, there you go. Welcome Hill, be in your safe place. All of these areas, just make sure you are staying safe. So, okay, so we're going to go live to Thunder, which is driving around. I believe you guys are East 24. Kat, I'll let you tell people where you are driving around. Marcus, our photographer, and Kat, our reporter, what's going on out in the elements, you guys?
Hey David, good to see you. We know you've been following and tracking these storms for quite a few hours now, and we've been out on the roads for some time, just roaming around the North Alabama and Georgia areas. I want to go ahead and give you guys a look at what we're seeing right now. As you can see, it looks like some of this wind and rain has tapered off just a little bit. Again, we're driving down I-24, passing along. We just passed Chattanooga, heading over to that East Ridge area. And basically what we've been seeing is everything you guys have been describing. Lots and lots of rain. We're passing through a shower right now that's picking up just a little bit right now. Strong wind gusts. We've seen a ton of lightning, just bolts flashing across the sky. You're not seeing too much of that right now because it seems like we're reaching the tail end of this storm in the area where we're at right now. But we are going to be continuing to drive along this road and keep you guys updated with anything that we do see. Now, we're going to provide coverage throughout the later hours of our show and into the early morning. So we just want to encourage people to take precaution. We just saw there are people out on the roads. Just be safe and take those precautions. Stop over on the side of the road if you need to. Again, just providing more coverage into this later evening show and into the early mornings. That's all I have for you right now, so I'm going to send it back in studio. Thanks.
All right, Kat, thank you so much. Definitely don't want to be where you are right now. But that's better than some folks. Some folks getting hit hard. We're talking about the tornado warning still in effect for some of our North Georgia communities. Dade County, I think you're okay in terms of tornadic activity. Let's bring the map back up. And I think you're okay in Dade County. You still got the tornado watch in effect, but there's nothing that's going to be moving into your area anytime soon. Walker, you're just about done with it. You can see the tornado warning still in effect for the extreme southern part of Walker County. And you may get a little of this activity bubbling up into the southern part of the county. Jackson County, you're done. You're not going to see any more tornado warnings in your area. And you can also see the areas where we've had the tornado watches allowed to expire. However, if you're in Hamilton County, well, it's expired now officially in Hamilton County, but if you're in Bradley County, McMinn County, even Polk County at this point, you're not going to have any severe you're not going to have any tornado warnings there either. So you can rest easy, even though officially you still have a tornado watch in place. You can rest easy. Everything is to the east of you now and is moving east. We do have another tornado warning that has been extended eastward into southern Chattooga County until 11:45. You can see that big batch of nasty lightning. That includes Rome in Floyd County. That's out of our viewing area, so we're not going to cover that one too much other than it clipping through Chattooga County. But the ones that we're watching, and we'll check the potential for any rotation anything that's really trying to flare up and get interesting. So maybe right here between Tryon and Somerville and here. So these are still the two hot spots. And I'm calling them hot spots. Again, I'm not pointing out where there is a tornado. I'm pointing out where you might be getting a little bit of rotation here and there. So you're not looking at a tornado, but if you have a tornado forming in either one of these storms, that is likely where it would take place. So those are the, call them ground zero spots that we're going to be looking at. So if you are in Sablina, Beadham, definitely be in your safe place. If you're in Hill City, Sugar Valley, definitely be in your safe place. Nance Springs, Resaca, be in your safe place as well. I'm going to see if we can couple this with any shear, which is a change in direction with height of the wind. And that's another good indication of rotation. Nothing really to beat the band, a little bit of shear within there, but nothing really that causes major concern. Possibly a little bit of hail, but I'm not picking up any definitive hail cores. I believe that, yeah, that's so we are getting definitely some hail moving through the southwestern tornado warning. So we've got Tryon, Somerville. If you got any hail that's falling, let me know, and we'll let folks know at home. Pulling up the messaging. Bear with me. Okay. All right, so here's the reflectivity again. You see the rain. We'll pop in the lightning. That is crazy, crazy lightning. And Hannah, are you? Yeah. Yeah, I saw that. We got that one. Mm-hmm. Okay. So bear with me just a moment. Okay, sirens in Dalton and Chatsworth. I don't think they're going in Dalton anymore. And it shouldn't be going in Chatsworth anymore, to be honest with you. Yeah, let me know what's happening, guys. Definitely want to hear from you. So these two tornado warnings, the big ones that we're watching, we are going to keep an eye out on this one for southern Chattooga County. And we do have, let me get rid of the lightning. You can see this a little bit. Ooh, that is nice, isn't it? Okay. Okay. So we may have a little something here. So we're going to keep an eye closely on this. That's a big area. Now that's a good couplet. That is a nice looking couplet, and that could move through southern Chattooga County near Lyerly. So I'm going to say if you're south of Lyerly, I would go to my safe place. I'm not going to confirm that we have, let me look at the shear. We've got some pretty good shear. And if there's a tornado on the ground, which I'm not comfortable saying that there is, but this is where it would be picking up debris and throwing it in the air. Typically, what I like to see is just a ball without it extending up here like this. So I'm not 100% confident that that's what we're seeing, but it does coincide with where we definitely have some rotation north of Cedar Bluff, and that is moving eastward into southern Chattooga County, south of Lyerly. So I'm trying to pick up some communities. So if you're in Chattoogaville or Poetry, Fullerton Road, be in your safe place. Go to it now. We do not have a confirmed tornado, but we do have signs where there is possibly a tornado that is forming and moving through, and we may have a debris signature where debris is getting picked up and thrown in the air. Again, that's not a confirmed thing, but it is something that is absolutely a possibility, and that's just north of Cedar Bluff, Alabama. Meanwhile, the signatures to the north, okay, the signatures to the north are not, and you can see how they're not as tight, not as strong, not as worthy as the one north of Cedar Bluff. Doesn't mean come out of your safe place, it just means we don't have anything as definitive looking as what we have here. Okay, just got a new, let me check out this new imagery. Okay, the one north of Cedar Bluff still holding strong. So it's still got an area here of concern. Let's see if we've got anything more clear. Okay, so could we be seeing a debris ball forming here? It's possible. I'm still not 100% convinced, but that is certainly possible. We definitely have some wind shear. The shear is not high, but it's on the strong end of weak. And combine that with this, and we've got some hail to the north, so I would say that there is a very good possibility that we may have a tornado north of Cedar Bluff heading east-northeast toward southern Chattooga County. And again, that will include the areas of Poetry, Chattoogaville, City Road 53, Holland, Chattoogaville Road. If you're in Holland, I would be going to the safe place as well. Definitely be going to your safe place. This is looking more and more like a tornado that may be touching the ground and spinning up debris into the air. And that's the best signature that I've seen of all of these. Now I'm going to check these out. And we still have tornado warning clipping Walker County, where we may see some of this energy lifting to the northeast. Okay, and I'm going to be watching this area. And we'll keep an eye on this area too. So let's get all of the, let me do it again because everything just changed on me. So here are the three spots that I'm keeping a close eye on. I'm keeping a close eye on here. I'm going to keep a close eye here. And I'm going to keep a close eye in this general area too. Now if we can see if we have anything else going on, in all of those areas we do have some shear. Here and here looks most impressive. And here's the only place where we may, and I emphasize the word may, have some debris that's getting picked up and thrown in the air. I'm not 100% convinced of that, and I'm not even sure. I'm looking at it on our monitor. I'm hoping you can see that. Yeah, you can. Okay. It's a definite different color. Don't see any of that here, none of that here. So this is the only one where I have concern that moving into southern Chattooga County, we may have a tornado. It's not a confirmed tornado. It's just what I'm looking at on radar definitely is showing several signs of that. Again, we have not just a debris detector, a debris signature right here, all of that orange embedded in all of the other red, but we also have the reds and greens together indicating rain traveling away, rain traveling to the radar site, creating rotation. And then we also have a nice little batch of hail, which looks like most of that is going to be just to the north of the main circulation. We like to see that as well. So all of that leads me to very strongly recommend that if you are in southern Chattooga County, I'm going to say south of Lyerly, be in your safe place. Please be in your safe place. If you're in Chattoogaville, all of this is headed your way. Meanwhile, we do have some shear embedded in here, along with a little bit of red and green activity going on here also, so we're going to keep a close eye on that. That is why we have the tornado warning in effect for that area. And we also have some very loose, and I mean very loose, rotation right here. not that confident or comfortable, and no real shear embedded in any of that. So I'm not as concerned with all of these. I do think you're looking at tons of lightning moving into Resaca, Calhoun. All of that's going to continue sliding eastward. But these two are the ones that I'm primarily concerned with. And these are the ones that are moving east. I'll go back to our velocity product and even our, okay, so now it looks like we have a new radar image with it. And it looks like we may be seeing, if that is a tornado, let me get that back up there. It looks like we may be seeing that moving into southern Chattooga County. So I am hoping that if you were in Chattooga,ville, Fullerton Road, you are in your safe place. I am hoping beyond hoping. The tornado warning is in effect for you for Cherokee, Alabama, for Chattooga until 11:45. So we're going to let this pass through, and then hopefully all will be well and everything is going to be okay. Still looking for just a real clear sign of shear coming in with that. But if we do have a tornado, it may be lightly picking up debris. A lot of times on this product, you'll see a much tighter gradient. It's not this spread out. This is a pretty broad spread out. That's why I'm really emphasizing the may with this. But it does coincide with, in its past, with where we've had the area of circulation and the area of stronger shear. Even though that shear is not that impressive, it's there and it coincides. So now you see we've moved into another image. And if we're following that, let me see if I can go back and pick the exact spot. Okay. So if I'm following this just north of Cedar Bluff, see if you can follow it with me. It does look like it's a little more spread out than it was. And, well, and that coincides with what we were identifying as the debris ball, the debris detector. Notice as I go back in time, it is a little bit tighter. So I'm pretty confident that north of Cedar Bluff, we had a tornado forming, drifting to the northeast, and now it looks like it might be washing out a bit as it moves into Chattooga County. I would still be really comfortable if in Chattooga,ville, Poetry, and Holland, you guys stayed in your safe place as long as the tornado warning is in effect. And we are starting to see some severe thunderstorm warnings beginning to take over our tornado warnings. So that's good news also. So a lot of these, notice we have the severe thunderstorm warning until midnight. And that basically encompasses this entire line. So what that messaging is telling me is that that line is still producing very heavy rain, really gusty winds, a lot of lightning, but the chances of it producing tornadoes might be starting to wane. And so we'll see if they allow these tornado warnings to last until 11:45, until midnight. Because to have the tornado warning and a severe thunderstorm warning both for the same area in effect until midnight is a little contradictory messaging. So we'll watch and we'll see if they decide to allow the tornado warnings to expire. Until they do, we're going to be on air with you. We're going to keep a close eye on them. We're going to watch them like a hawk. And at 11:30, after we'll still be with you at 11:30. And keep going until the tornado warnings have expired, and then we'll keep going on Facebook until everything is over. So we'll expand out, see if we've lost any more tornado watches. Once again, if you are McMinn County, Bradley County, Polk County, you are done with any potential for severe weather. If you are in, I'll go ahead and say Walker County, Dade County, Jackson County, you are done with severe weather. And all of the tornado watches for the rest of our area, Chattanooga, Hamilton County, Ray Meigs, the Cumberland Plateau, have all been allowed to expire early. and I suspect that a lot of these west of this line will expire early as well. The line is moving about like we thought it would. It will still be moving through from between until 1 or 2 a.m. Then we'll see everything moving out of our area. I'll be right here with you until it does, so no problems there. So we're really focused on this particular area. I'm going to look and see if anybody is saying anything awesome. Calm in Cartersville. Boy, that's a little bit to the south, isn't it? All right. So what is going on? If you live in any of these areas, let me know what's happening, and we'll check it out. So in Chatsworth, you've still got, you're on the backside now of the rain and thunderstorms. Once that line gets through you, you're going to be okay. I'm talking to Nicole on Facebook. I'm looking at some of the comments. Getting lots of thunder in Chickamauga, no doubt. I am sure you're getting lots of thunder. From Tryon on into Damascus, Calhoun. Okay, let me hang on one second. Okay. So let's go back. Windy in Chatsworth. Okay. So if you are in Damascus, Resaca, Calhoun, you are still going to get a lot of this lifting up. Let's go ahead and just show you the general path that all these are taking. So you see that path. Yeah, and how broken up it is. A lot of the lightning is still there, though. So I think, honestly, wind, lightning, and rain are going to be the big issues that we're dealing with. Again, we have this severe thunderstorm warning in effect for all of this area until midnight Eastern time. And my personal belief is they're going to allow that to replace the tornado warnings at just about any point. And Hannah, if you are listening, if you can check the NWS chat and see if they're saying anything about the tornado warnings and maybe being allowed to be replaced by the severe thunderstorm warning, and see if they're saying anything about that. Hannah Sky has been here all night. Greg Glover is over at the desk hanging out, and God bless you guys. And by the way, the crew that has been here all night, thank you to them, and our producers, our news director who's been here all night. So thank all of you guys. This is very much a team effort. So we're going to switch and see if we can find anything of note.
Tornado warning in California should expire shortly.
Okay, so Hannah just checked with the National Weather Service. They're going to let the tornado warning in Calhoun expire. And that is great news because midnight is a long time for that to be going. So they're going to let that one expire, and they're going to let that be handled by this severe thunderstorm warning. This one expires at 11:30, and they'll probably just let it expire. I have a feeling at 11:30, both of these are going to be gone. Not so convinced with these because we probably had a tornado with these tornado warnings. And let's just go back in and take the lightning out again and see if we have anything else cooking up. So these areas, and notice as soon as we say they're about to allow it to expire, we have a little area of rotation right here. I'll zoom in on it. Let's divert and zoom in on that. Now, a lot of times that may be rotation in the mid-levels. Doesn't mean that a tornado has formed. That's not a tornado icon. It just tells us that there's some rotation there. So let's see what else we have going on. We do have a little bit of shear. Not seeing anything. I don't think we're looking at any debris on there. So that's one we'll keep an eye on. But if you're in Calhoun, stay in your safe place. If you're in Damascus, stay in your safe place. And this is why, until those warnings are allowed to expire, there are a lot of times that I will say, why on earth do they have a warning for that still? And sometimes it'll go away and we won't have anything. Sometimes we'll see a little bit of circulation popping up. So as long as that possibility is there, they will keep the warning in place. That warning's still in place until midnight, and it's 11:29. So we'll see what they do, especially with this little band of rotation going on, see if they allow that to expire at all. Now we're looking at just south of Chattooga County. Yeah, not a lot there either. All of this is just really sloppy. I'm not seeing anything that is going to cause problems with tornadoes. And we'll keep an eye on this moving into Calhoun. Definitely in Calhoun, you're looking at big time, and I mean big time, thunder and lightning. And we'll see if we can find anything that's given us. So the BTI is the tornado index, and that is a 2.4 on a scale from 1 to 10. All right, so the BTI is not very impressive right now for that particular storm. So if we click on a few others of these, 2.4, still a 2.4. Yeah, that's really low. But again, we have those areas of rotation, that little weak rotations, we're keeping an eye there. Here it's a 2.3, moving east at 44 miles per hour. So nothing impressive in terms of tornadoes, but in terms of wind, lightning, rain, yeah. We got it all. We got it all. Now, if you're in Chatsworth, the tornado threat is over. There is no tornado threat. And I will say this, if you are in Dade, Walker, Catoosa, Whitfield, you're, okay, before I say you're okay, let me do a future scan and just bring everything in. Yeah, I think you're okay. You are okay. So if you're in any of those counties, Dade, Walker, Whitfield, Jackson County, you're okay. You can, Catoosa County, there is no more tornado threat for you tonight. Calhoun, you are in the thick of it, so hang in there if you're in Calhoun. A little bit of rotation, nothing that's really screaming that there is a tornado, but definitely some rotation. And again, they are keeping the tornado warning in effect for now because of that potential for something to spin up. Doesn't mean anything is, doesn't look like anything is, but the potential is there. Tornado warning until 11:45, another 13 minutes for our friends in Chattooga County. Notice in Chattooga it is calming down big time. And I had one viewer that was very worried and the kids were screaming. I think you are past the worst, I don't think, you are past the worst in Chattooga County. Okay. Okay, it's 11:30. I hope you enjoyed Local 3 News at 11. We're going to keep on going, and we're going to keep on air as well until the tornado warnings for our viewing area are over and done with. Now, I want you to notice this is still sliding east through Ellijay. And in the control room, because we're about to go, not this second, Tanner, but we're about to go back to regularly scheduled programming. So I'm going to keep an eye on this one. Now, I will tell you, this is in Gordon County, Georgia, which is not officially our viewing area. I think we do have a lot of viewers in Gordon County, but that's not officially our viewing area. But since we're here, we're going to keep an eye on things. Now, when we do, and it's going to happen in just a few minutes, when we do go off air and go back to regularly scheduled programming, 3 ways that you can keep watching. Go to David Carnes 3 on Facebook, or Local 3 News on Facebook, or Local 3 Weather on Facebook. All of those be simulcasting what you're seeing right now. So we'll be talking about it even after we go off air and go back to regularly scheduled programming. So okay, in Murphy, notice even more of our tornado watches have expired. So now Polk County, McMinn, Bradley, all out of a tornado watch. And we're going to see those continuing to fall. And once again, before we go to regularly scheduled programming, again, we'll be doing this on Facebook, but once we go back to your programming, Jackson County is out of the woods, Dade, Walker, Whitfield out of the woods, Murray County pretty much out of the woods, southeastern part you might get clipped with some heavy rain, lightning, and wind, but for the most part out of the woods. And we're going to see all of this continuing to slide eastward out of our viewing area. So with that said, because the tornado warnings are officially out of our viewing area, we will continue to cover all of this on Facebook, but right now we're going to go back to our regularly scheduled programming. And again, thank you to the staff, to the crew, to all of the producers, to the folks out in Thunder, to everybody making all of this possible for you. I hope you stayed safe tonight. Again, continue to watch on Facebook if you want to continue to watch us live streaming. Right now, we'll take you back to your programming.